Welcome back to Wilco. I'm Will Cervantes. Before we get started, make sure to follow us in all of our social media platforms. If you like or you found value on our content, like, share, follow, and subscribe in our social media platforms. Last week we spoke about credit. Today we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to talk about best practices for credit. So let's get started with number one. Review your credit report before you get started. So if you want to buy a property, a house in the next, say, 6 months or so, make sure you have someone run your credit today. And the reason for, you want to know what's in there. If you want to know that if you have at least a 2-year minimum history, you want to make sure that you have the appropriate trade line versus because you should want to know what loan type you want to get, an FHA versus a conventional loan. So make sure to review your credit report. And once reviewed, make sure you number two, dispute any inconsistency in your credit report. So say once you run your credit, you notice that you paid something off and it's not reflecting your credit. That's something you could actually go ahead and dispute and get corrected. Say it shows that you had a late payment for a car and that late payment was not, you didn't make it on time. That's something you could actually fix prior to getting started. Number three, make sure you have several trade lines. Again, you need trade lines to apply for a home mortgage, especially if you're going with a conventional and an FHA. A conventional requires a minimum of 3 trade lines, and FHA requires a minimum of 2. So if you have only 1 credit line and you know you want to go with a conventional product, that means you have to open up at least 2 more. And if you're finding this out only a couple of weeks before you start searching, it could definitely be an issue. Number 4, leave older credit lines open. So a lot of the people out there do the mistake that they run their credit and they see that they have 0 balances on their credit and they start closing them out. This could actually impact your credit score in a negative way. If you already have the credit score that you want to apply to start looking for your home, there is no reason to actually close any of those credits because it could only hurt you. Number 5, avoid opening new credit lines. So what does this mean? Avoid opening new credit cards. If you already have the necessary trade lines to apply for a mortgage, please do not go out there and pick up a new credit card because they have a really low APR. Take on vacation, put it on your credit. Lend credit to somebody else for they could purchase a vehicle because it does affect you. And number 6 is pretty much related to number 5, which is stop buying on credit. Again, it's very important. It's a common mistake that people do, especially the lending of credit. If you have a adult child who wants to purchase a first car and they need help purchasing that car, they usually ask the parents, and the parents, without thinking, say, I'm going to go ahead and co-sign for your son or your daughter. What you end up doing is you end up being responsible for somebody else's credit, and you have to show on an installment loan at least 12 months history before it cannot be counted against you. So please do not lend your credit and stop buying on credit. Number 7, don't shuffle money around. So the biggest issue with number 7 would be if you have a credit card and you're shuffling from one limit to, say, a new credit card because they have a lower APR. That could definitely affect you because, again, you're opening new credit. You might be getting a lower APR, but you're opening new credit and it could actually lower your credit score. So please, that's also a big no-no. Well, those are the best practices for credit. If you have any questions, please give me a call or DM me. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, and see you next time.